It is what it is. We'll figure it out. My name is Joseph, and we are live, guys, with On Track. I'm excited to share these thoughts with you. I wanted to share with you guys an exercise that I did in terms of figuring out what I'm passionate about. Because I've always been passionate about things, but then it's been a very interesting year for me where I'm trying to figure out, like, how passionate am I about the thing that I'm doing right now? And come to realize I'm extremely passionate about it. And I want to share those thoughts with you guys. The exercise can be done by yourself. Just take an A4 piece of paper, either pen and paper, or do it on your MacBook or your computer, whatever. Take an A4 document, boom, and just write it out and just repeat the same process that I just did here. So I'll share my thoughts about it and a little bit around each thing, obviously, while keeping it simple. So, I'm passionate about On Track. On Track stands for Opportunity Networking, Tracking, Reporting, Accountability, Consistency Coaching. It's my business, and I've been running this business now for 6 years. It was named Men of High Value in the past. On Track is more mainstream. I'm excited about it, and it is the future. I want to replace the education system, and the way we're going to do that is with the On Track business and tap into the $7 trillion market that's out there and helping people to learn the basic stuff that they didn't learn in school, right? And using consistency coaching as the way to help people to do that, because you can't really navigate information completely on your own. Like, it's good to have someone that's has a outside perspective, that is unbiased and that's not in it like you are, who understands the process that you're moving towards and helps you to understand where you want to go, but then eventually is able to reverse engineer that process with you and for you so that you know which next steps to take on your path towards achieving your goals. So I think that's a really powerful concept, and I'll move on. I'm passionate about helping men specifically. I'm passionate about helping families. Now, why would I be saying that I'm passionate about helping men? It's because I found out my purpose of life, okay, my meaning in life, approximately 2015. So more than 10 years ago, I figured out that I want to alleviate suffering for women and children. And I realized that the best way to alleviate suffering for women and children is to help men understand them and understand themselves and then change themselves. A lot of the pain and suffering is caused by men, you know? And you say, well, women are the ones that cause it. Bro, if men led women properly, women would follow. Okay, so the real issue is helping men to understand how to be leaders. And so it all comes back to that. It all comes back down to me being passionate about families, helping families. I understood from a very early age that families is the key to society, to happiness, to uh, kids growing up the right way so that they don't become, bad people when they grow up. If they have their emotional needs met as children, they're going to be fine as adults. They're actually going to be helpful and contributing members of society. But when families struggle, meaning couples, when there are divorces, when there's, domestic violence and all sorts of crap that happens in the home because of the crappy leadership of the man, then the kids are going to suffer and they're not going to be able to uh, mature into contributing adults, right? I'm passionate about understanding people's real struggles. This one's interesting because we don't really know very often what we're struggling with. We just know that, maybe we're miserable or that something is not quite right with our mental capacities or whatever it is. Like, we don't know where it originates, and as a result, we can't really fix it in the now, and we can't really then move into the future with hope and excitement and desire because we're being burdened by our debts from the past. So that is helping people's real struggles. I'm passionate about finding solutions, also finding whatever it is that someone needs at any given time. I'm passionate about making life simpler for people so that they can focus on things that truly matter instead of trivial things. Passionate about love. Okay, love is the solution to all problems when you really think about it. And if people truly cared about other people, then other people would care about them. And I came up with a quote yesterday that I thought was pretty powerful. Let's see if I remember it. Is liking yourself is the key to life. And other people are the only one that can do it for you. It's like you can't love yourself without other people loving you. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But again, love is the answer because karma is what works. I'm passionate about karma as well. I didn't write that up. Passionate about helping individuals to find their mates more easily in a tricky dating market. Men and women are not really collaborating very well on a I don't know you perspective, right? Once you get to know a person and you find out, the person that you want to spend, uh, long term with, or for hopefully the rest of your life with, things can work out and it's going to be difficult, whatever. But the aspect of two strangers, a man and a woman, being able to try to get to know each other romantically is really tricky these days. And I'm kind of happy I'm not part of the dating market. And I've been married for 16 years now in October. But damn, I want to help people to understand how that works and solve that because it's a huge problem. Passionate about three in love. I'll share that with you guys another time. I'm passionate about the education system being absolutely horrific, horrible. And I'm not talking about just college degrees and helping people to get jobs. I'm talking about basics from kindergarten age, okay? We're not teaching kids relationships and people skills, which is the fountain of happiness. Like, if you do not figure out how to enjoy relationships, which is the source of happiness, you're going to be miserable. And if you're miserable, you're going to make other people miserable. Like, the whole goal is to create happiness for other people, yourself, and your family once you have one, right? And so if you are absolutely horrifically miserable, meaning you're not able to create lasting and functional relationships, then what's the point, right? And I mean, it's kind of understandable that they don't teach this in schools because they don't understand this in school. And the school system and curriculum that was made in the 1800s and maybe some in the 1900s, a little bit, few amendments here and there. It's not teaching us the basics that we understand now better than ever from the past 10 years. And it's almost as if information sped through this past decade because of the internet. And as a result, now we have so clear-cut understanding of what produces joy, bliss, and happiness, which is relationships, and not just the romantic ones, just in general, relationships with other people. I think we got those past 10 years of understanding. Well, and 10% of the population, maybe 20% of the population understand relationships now and understand how to collaborate and how to be understanding, etc., and creating win-win situations. But then but we haven't infused that into the education system. So in the future, will we be able to do that? Probably not, because of government. Government is so big and it's so slow that they won't be able to pass bills fast enough. And if they do pass bills, they're not going to talk about relationships. They're going to talk about LGBTQ agendas or whatever. They're going to do weird stuff. And so, yeah, I'm passionate about fixing the education system, which is absolutely horrible. And we're bringing it back and we're bringing it online because you can get access to better teachers worldwide. And that's kind of part of the ONTRACC system. I'm passionate about finances. People don't know squat about finances in terms of their personal finances. And who do you talk to about your personal finances? Because it's kind of embarrassing for 80% of the population, right? Like, they don't have good finances, and it's not something that you discuss with other people, right? And you're scared about discussing it with other people. Well, if there was a business out there like OnTrack that would give you a coach that you can confidentially talk to and explain your personal financial situation to, then you could get the help that you need in order to understand that aspect, right? It's like how the rich get rich. Well, they buy assets, and the poor middle class, they don't. And they just rack up massive debt that they to buy consumables, right? To buy stuff that they use once and then never again, but the debt is still there, right? The debt outlived the thing that you bought. But for for rich people, they buy assets and then they borrow money to buy more assets. And what happens then is that you're buying things that last a lot longer than the debt lasts because someone else is paying off the debt. So a lot of people don't understand these basics about finances, and I want to teach them about it. I'm passionate about business. The most important asset that you can build is yourself and understanding the world, understanding yourself and understanding people around you and understanding how to serve other people around you. If you know how to serve others and you're willing to work hard to serve others, you'll never be broke. The only thing that makes us broke is that we're unable to know how to serve other people and we're unable to get a job, right? We're unable to prove to an employer that we're going to be worthwhile the investment. Sometimes we're not worthwhile the investment. Then there's no reason why someone should employ you in the first place. You have to make yourself valuable to someone with some form of skill. And if you're not employed, you're not going to get skilled. And if you're unemployed for an extended period of time, you probably didn't build any skills outside of employment. And so it's going to be harder and harder for you to get employed because no one employed you, right? So you have to, at some point, choose to work for free to gain skills, whether that's just online, and just serving people for free just by being helpful. That will employ you eventually because you've learned some skills because you were helpful to someone for free. And very often people are willing to teach you and train you into doing stuff that would help you develop skills if you were willing to work for free. But most people are not willing to work for free. So as a result, no one wants to invest in you. And as a result, you don't get a job. And as a result, you remain skillless. Big issue. So choose to work for free and be excited about it because you might not be skilled. And you need to be skilled in order for people to want to invest in you. All right. I'm passionate about business. I'm passionate about numbers. What does that mean? Numbers means that I love calculating stuff. I like in kindergarten and school. I didn't go to kindergarten. In school, first grade, I was amazing at thinking fast when it came to math. And that, remained with me for the rest of my life. And some people just don't manage to, count in their heads. And I love to count in my heads and I do it fast without a calculator. And as a result, I can do, better transactions when it comes to trading or money or whatever it is. I just love numbers and statistics and loving and seeing those in front of me. Okay, I'm passionate about goal setting and the goal achievement. What does that mean? Well, there are people out there that achieve all of their goals all of the time. And imagine how cool that must be, right? I'm a work in progress myself, but imagine being able to set a goal and then you achieve it. And now you have bigger excitement and bigger thoughts about what you could potentially achieve, right? Usually the people that achieve their goals most effectively are those that have failed a lot at their goals in the past. So they set a goal and then they failed and then they're like, oh, I'm going to achieve this goal. And then they try again, right? And the people that don't do well with goal setting and goal achievement are those that don't want to fail at all. They're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that I'm going to do something. And so that becomes a problem because then you remain in the situation where you're at. And if you are remaining where you're at, then that means you'll never grow, which means that you're actually declining because the rest of the world is moving ahead. It's like if you're not evolving, you're dying, right? And the rest of the world is evolving. And so as a result, you're going to be quite miserable because you're left behind. And people don't want to be around someone, bringing it back to relationships, people don't want to be around someone that's going to slow them down. And if you're not growing yourself and setting goals and achieving them, then that means you are lagging behind and thus would keep someone lagged behind as well because you are like the 5 people that you spend most time with. You see the issue here. You must, at some point, learn goal setting and goal achievement. Even if it's just small, tiny goals like brushing your teeth. Well, I'm good at brushing your teeth. Well, then you're fantastic at goal setting and goal achievement, right? In that one little tiny minute thing. Are you able to wake up at the specific time that you decide? Fantastic. Are you able to go and get yourself a meal? We're goal-setting individuals. We sometimes just forget it. But you have to learn to think bigger than just yourself and what you're capable of doing for yourself. You set goals that involve other people where you begin to do stuff for other people. That's the real, goal setting and goal achievement, because now you're thinking big, you're thinking huge. I'm passionate about understanding the process of decisions and decision making, okay? Cutting all other options off and focusing on one thing at a time. That's what decision making is. I'm passionate about who to choose as friends. I'm passionate about learning to not care about what other people think about you or your goals. Huge. Like, who you choose as friends you can't be careless about that. And also, I mean, it's kind of tricky because the moment you start thinking, should I really be hanging out with this person? Although you do that continuous judgment every single day and every single time you're with that person, it's like, I don't want to spend that much time with that person anymore. He doesn't agree with me on this. We have different values when it comes to this. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to friends, you want to make sure that you have a few. You can't have a lot, because if you have a lot of friends, that means that the standard is low, right? Hormozy talks about this. If you want a few excellent friends that would die for you because they understand how important you are to the human race, and they recognize how amazing you are, and they take a bullet for you, like, you don't do that if you have, like, if you have tons of friends. It's just going to be shallow relationships and you're going to have a low standard. But if you have a high standard, you're going to have amazing friendships, which is going to give you amazing joy for the rest of your life. Like, you need like 3 to 4 to 5 great friends. You can survive with even one fantastic friend, for crying out loud. But it should be, like, when it comes to friends that's non-romantic, it should be someone of your same gender, obviously, because men and women struggle to be friends anyway. Let's keep going. All right. I'm passionate about integrity. I'm passionate about honesty. Bro, if the world moved towards integrity and honesty, we'd move towards truth. And truth is that which works in the long run in the big scheme of things. And if we're not having integrity and honesty as a people and being transparent, then we're going to be corrupted. Okay? We're corrupted. When we're corrupted, the government becomes corrupted. You could say that the government becomes corrupted without us being corrupted, okay? But it's a result of the fabric of society, and the fabric of society is actually families, right? So when families become corrupted and defiled, okay, cheating, divorce, all the crap that happens in marriages and families these days, that will lead to jobs, right? Because people go to jobs, people go to businesses, people go to vote, people want to be politicians. We're all people that are doing all these things, right? So as a result, it comes and stems all from families. And if families are corrupted, government's going to be corrupted, and as a result, our institutions are going to be corrupted, and that leads to the downfall of society. So this is basic stuff, right? That's why I want to share the basics with the world about education, is because this is basics. Be integral. Be honest with your dealings with other people, right? And that's just going to improve your life in all ways. All right. I'm passionate about economic policy. Okay, we don't have honest money. We have fiat currencies, for crying out loud. Fiat currencies are worthless. They're only existing because of trust that we have between each other, and the trust that we have in government. Well, we're seeing which direction we're going with that, right? So what direction do you think the dollar or your fiat currency is going to take? What's going to be the end result of your fiat currency if the only thing that keeps that thing running in a solid, functioning manner is trust? There is no trust. And so we have to build up society from scratch again with something that doesn't require trust, or we as people have to become trustworthy, right? And blockchain is a trustless system, which is freaking awesome. It takes away the intermediary, it takes away the banks. And if you understand how it works, which we can't expect 90% of the population to figure out how to work with, right? Bitcoin with your ledger and hardware wallet, like, it's kind of complicated, and old people is not going to be able to do it, right? So as a result, there's always going to be some form of intermediary where we help those that are less fortunate than us in understanding how to make that work. So, but that's that's a part of economic policy. I'm passionate about gold and silver because it's money. It's, like Robert Kiyosaki says, it's God's money because it's been around for the longest period of time. Obviously, Elon Musk talks about, I don't know if he talks about it, but people say that he is able to send a rocket into space and bring gold back, and suddenly we have so much gold. Bro, that's going to be so far off, okay? There's only 201,000 ton, okay? From what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, okay? My numbers might be skewed, but from what I've been hearing, that's how much gold is above ground. That's it. And you could spread it out over a cubic box of 22 meters on each side, and that would be all the gold that is held all over the world by 8 billion people, including central banks and institutions and rich people. Okay? And, like, that's freaking crazy to think about. So there's a scarcity element to that. The reason why, yeah, I could mention Bitcoin again, but the thing is that we can't rely all of our financial system on a store of value that we hope will be a store of value, but it's only been around since 2009. Like, it's been 16 years, for crying out loud. So, like, it's good to have gold and silver, as a backup. But then, Bitcoin is a very interesting one. If Bitcoin's still around 50 years from now, 100 years from now, bro, it's the best investment that ever existed, created a trustless function of money. And as a result, we now have the ability to transact with each other in ways that helps us know if that is a win-win situation. If we didn't have a currency that we knew was a win-win situation, it's very difficult to trust the other person, and as a result, we're kind of, in a difficult position long term. Like, when people can't barter properly or trade properly, we go extinct because we have to, like, be, in conservative mode, and, like, it's not going to be as fun. All right, like, globalization is actually great when people treat each other with respect, when it comes to culture and stuff like that, when families function across cultures, because family is a thing in all cultures if it just worked well. And yeah, so that's kind of how it works. I'm passionate about trading. I'm passionate about Bybit. Obviously, that's actually a company. That's an exchange. So far, so good. They've been amazing. The founder there is pretty awesome. I haven't studied the founder as much as I probably should. His name is Ben. But oh my gosh, like, it's such an amazing system. And it's the system I've used for 4 years for trading. I'm passionate about charts. Trading view is what I use. I'm passionate about survival. Now, what does that mean? It means that I'm capable of surviving. I know how to help my family survive. I know how to help my surroundings, my neighbors, my community survive. Okay, if something horrible happened, I want to be able to help them survive. Okay, so survival in general, you understand. I'm passionate about helping the poor and the needy. Oof, that's a big statement. Okay, like, imagine becoming a billionaire and stating publicly, and I'm not a billionaire for any stretch of the imagination, uh, but saying that you're passionate about helping the poor and needy. I'll go into detail about that in another video, but that's a very powerful one. I'm passionate about creating hope. I'm passionate about creating vision. I'm passionate about leadership. I'm passionate about guns and gun ownership. Okay, like, when it comes to leadership, let's go back one quick second. Leadership is the cap of society. We need visionaries. We need people that do the opposite of what the crowd does. And that's tricky. That's very difficult to go against the grain. And then to care enough about people that you will lead them to victory. Like, imagine how simple it could be for someone who has the capabilities of leading other people, understands the basics while other people don't. And then for him to just say, you know what? I'm just okay by myself. I'm just gonna trade. This is a thought that I had not too long ago, where I'm like, I don't have to build a people business. I could just trade by myself. And, like, I think that's one of the reasons why there's so many traders out there in the world today, is because it's just you. It's just you against the world. It's just you, and, making money, unfortunately losing money. It's not a gateway to make money fast. It's a fantastic way to learn about yourself, because you're losing a lot in the beginning and you're actually losing money, right? You're not making money. You're not even staying even keel like you would if you use your time and exchange time for money in serving other people. You're literally losing money if you do a bad job at it. And you're not contributing to society if you're demo trading. If you're trading with real money, then you are helping society because you're giving money to the rich. If that is helping anyone, I mean, it helps the rich because they can now use their money to now put more liquidity into the system and actually be a blessing to the rest of, in terms of investment and in terms of assets. I mean, hopefully the rich people are using their money wisely to serve all people, to serve the poor and the needy and the desperate and those struggling. Very often, there's a lot of rich people that don't care, that don't give a rat's ass except for about their family. And that is a problem. And that is a problem that they're going to have to reckon with because being massively rich in the future is going to be dangerous. So you're going to need a lot of security and you're going to, have to look over your shoulder all the time if people know that you're rich. Like if you're famous and you have a lot of money, bro, you kind of, it's tricky, right? We've entered into a situation right now where people that are good, honest, and capable don't want to lead. Whoa, that's a dangerous situation we've put ourselves in. And that's because of ignorance. That's because of violence. That's because of force. Where the people in general are like, I don't care about any other people. I just need to survive and eat and take care of myself, right? Like when you're in survival mode, you don't care about any other people. How could you, right? So you'll be contracting because you're like, I need, and no one wants to be around you during that time because that means that you're not going to create win-win situations. And you're not giving enough time to build trust between a counterparty for you guys to have that win-win situation. So like obviously this is not the ignorant people's fault. No, no offense in terms of the ignorance part. We're all ignorant to some degree in all fields, except for the fields that we're actually good at. And I'm a generalist. Maybe you're a generalist. I don't know what you're specialized in. But if you are a specialist, that means that you're ignorant on vast majority of topics. But you're a specialist in the thing that you're a specialist in. That means that there are people that are ignorant in that thing that you're a specialist in. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just stressing the aspect of being ignorant in general is bad, right? So being educated means that you're able to help someone who is ignorant to get educated. That's why I love education so much, because it solves all of the equation. But it's not just theory, it's actually helping someone to understand it, understand the lesson, apply it, and then move forward with it and level up. Because like that's how life works, is that it's just a bunch of levels. If you really think about it, I wanna make sure that there's a live situation. There you go. We can have a pop-up here so that you guys can chat with me if you guys are online. There's no one online. That's fine. So we see the issue. Is this still working? Well, yeah, it sure is. Yeah, this is the issue with that. Leadership, man. It's such a powerful concept. What I was going to say is that rich people have a responsibility to lead poor people the right way and making it available at low cost. So what does that mean? It means like what Hormozy is doing right now is fantastic. What all the rich YouTubers are doing. Now they're getting something in return for that, right? Building a YouTube, that means that you build a large audience of people that are watching your content. And that might be a good thing, that might be a bad thing, right? It's a bad thing if you don't want the fame that causes you to be less safe, right? But it is fantastic from a perspective of making money because there's nothing that makes money faster than fame. Like if you're famous, then people will throw stuff at you because you have the attention of other people. And if that means that you'll probably have the attention of those businesses target avatar. And so they want to collaborate with you as an influencer because you have the eyeballs of other people. So fame is fantastic, but but that makes you a leader as an influencer, right? So everyone who is a leader are responsible, to whom much is given, much is required. They're responsible to educate the public on what is basics, what is what is the right thing, and what is the truth. Now, and unfortunately, there's a lot of influencers, a lot of leaders, and a lot of politicians, a lot of billionaires that are just ignorant on the basics of life, including taking care of each other. No man is an island. Someone suffering is my suffering, no matter who that person is. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with comfortable things. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a Lambo. There's nothing wrong with having a fancy yacht or whatever. Oh, well, you could have fed 1 million people with that. Yeah, for one day. But if that yacht actually allows you to, okay, yacht is maybe over excessive. But you know, so, like, but it maybe if a rich person owns a big yacht and he loves being on that yacht, he loves being at sea and being safe at sea, you know, then and he's comfortable with that. He should be allowed to take a week off or a month off to do that because he's built a substantial empire. As long as he spends the other 11 months actually serving other people and having capacity to serve other people because he got re-energized from his vacation, right? But if you are like literally living on vacation for 2 decades, 20 years, and never caring about other people and actually destroying other people with your habits and your your immediate gratification habits, then that's a problem, and obviously, people are free to do what they they are doing, but they shouldn't be hurting people. And the thing is that they will be held responsible at some point in time. And yeah, it's just important for us to know that this life is not it, right? There's more to life beyond this. Life is just a comma. And that's basic information. Like, and that's something that's not basic for people. Like, they're wondering, oh, after this life, that's it. There's nothing after this life. Bro, if you yeah, I'm not gonna go into that right now, but you're understanding now what I mean about the billionaires. Is like, they comfortability is fantastic as long as you use that to re-energize yourself to go out there and serve again. And yeah, very important. Okay, I'm passionate about guns and gun ownership. I could talk a lot about that, but I think it is dangerous in an ignorant world. It is dangerous, of course, but in general, 99.999% of the time, people don't use guns against each other, right? I mean, that could be because of fear that they might be killed themselves, but and it's going to get more and more dangerous as people have less and less or worse and worse mental health problems because families don't function properly, which came as a result of the dating market not functioning properly. It's very interesting how all of this comes together, and you understanding the root problems can help you to fix, the end result a lot faster. When you understand the entire journey of what brought us here, you can now go to the core and you can rebuild society. And it's kind of what I'm good at, honestly. Simplifying stuff for people so they understand how it all works. Um, yeah. Let's see if it's still working. Yeah, no, it's not going down. That's okay. I'll fix it. Okay. I'm passionate about guns and gun ownership because of your ability to protect yourself. Like, if you're someone who is massively helpful, and you should be able to protect yourself. And also, what if government suddenly wants to, do something that they're not supposed to, and they just have more money than people because they can create endless amounts of money with quantitative easing? Then why would they not be paying soldiers to kill you? And that sucks. And so if you have the ability to protect yourself, not only the rich who are able to hire security, but you own a gun yourself, then you have a chance, right? So, yeah, I'm totally for that, but obviously you should keep it safe and you should, be wise about it. And people that maybe have mental health issues maybe shouldn't be allowed to have guns. So, and then it's like about, well, we can go very deeply into this one, but I think it is important that we allow it. I'm passionate about martial arts. Although I don't do a lot of it, hand to hand combat is really exciting to me, and I'm excited to participate with that. with personal trainers and all such. I'm passionate about the things that move the needle the most. I'm passionate about health. I'm passionate about understanding optimized performance. I'm passionate about the improving the healthcare system. I need to put that in there. Passionate about getting rid of useless medication. That's a problem. And I want to replace medication with healthier alternatives and bring us back to nature because there's a lot of good stuff out there. This is gonna be part one because I know that it's my turn to make breakfast, and so I'm excited to do that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope this was enlightening, and I hope you're gonna enjoy the live stream that will be on YouTube because I need to edit it and make it a little bit better. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Good morning, Goodon. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you, Goodon. I, I don't know. I'm speaking English, okay? Don't hate. All right, bro. I'm going to let go and get off the stream, make some eggs for my kids, and hope you guys have a fantastic day, including you, Yaron. And talk to you soon. Let's go.